Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night SmackDown for March 6th, 2026, coming off Elimination Chamber with a blockbuster main event to determine the night one main event of WrestleMania. We had Drew McIntyre defending his championship against Cody Rhodes. But before we got to that, we opened up SmackDown in Portland, Oregon, my old stomping grounds, with the Elimination Chamber winner, Randy Orton, who is officially going to be challenging for the title at WrestleMania 42. Orton brought up how he's been at 20 WrestleManias, but only main evented twice. Now he's going for the third time. He said he earned this son of a bitch. And he said it doesn't matter who he's facing. He will be leaving Las Vegas with the world title. But then the lights went out and we had Trick Williams coming down to the ring. Trick said he had a bone to pick with Randy Orton. He said he should be the main event of WrestleMania. And he was commenting on his lemon pepper steppers when Randy Orton took him out with the RKO right away and stood tall to end the first segment. Short but sweet. Orton doing his thing. I'm sure we'll see Trick Williams versus Randy Orton at some point down the line. Good start to the show. Backstage, we had General Manager Nick Aldis praising Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title defenses. Aldis said that there have been requests all over the world, and he found one. Somebody caught the eye of Aldis. As it turns out, that person was El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. from AAA. A little bit of a mouthful with that name. Why not just call him Dr. Wagner III? I don't know. You know, if Vince McMahon was in charge, that name would be way shortened. He would just be Dr. Wagner, let's face it. He might just be Wagner. But anyways, he was the opponent. Not much of a crowd reaction, which really shouldn't surprise anybody since he's from AAA. But the crowd did get into the match as it went on. It was competitive, back and forth with these two. Wagner came off the top, but Carmelo caught him with the first 48. Wagner kicked out of that. And then Wagner delivered a sit-down powerbomb. Carmelo was able to kick out of that. And then Carmelo avoided Wagner's moonsault and then picked up the victory with the nothing but net. Solid match here. I'm fine with WWE changing it up and bringing in some different people for the open challenge. That's fine. Backstage, Ilya Dragunov was interviewed, and Dragunov said the reason he has not asked for a title match is because he wants to earn it. He said he was motivated by his mother, and he said he is going to be a warrior and make her proud. Miz confronted him, said Dragunov should be seizing the opportunity. And then Kit Wilson came in and said Dragunov has become toxic, and Dragunov said he'll fight one of them, and Miz ended up picking Kit. But we did not get this match on this show, so they must be doing it next week. Backstage, Damian Priest was talking to Nick Aldis, and as it turns out, there is a tag team title #1 contenders turmoil match, which is one of those gauntlet matches, and Priest will be teaming up with R-Truth. More on that in just a few moments. We had Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, backstage with Nicholas Aldis. And he said Cody wasn't supposed to get a rematch. McIntyre told Aldis to make things right. Aldis said McIntyre went back on his word, and Aldis was going back on his. He said that McIntyre could forfeit the title if he wanted to, but McIntyre said he will, in fact, beat Cody again. We then had the Nia Jax and Lash Legend celebration as the new women's tag team champions. They had brand new music, and they said any challengers are welcomed. They had a toast. They had some champagne. Pyro went off, but then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss interrupted and said that they want a title match. But then Julia and Kiana James showed up. So it was one of these types of segments. And they said they wanted a title match. And wow, I mean, just a coincidence, right? Both teams just happened to be in their ring gear. And Nick Aldis came out there and made a tag team match. Wow, what a shocker. I can't believe that this match was just made on the spot like this. So yeah, we had a tag team match. It was very basic. Heels got the upper hand on Alexa. And then after the commercial break, Charlotte came in with the hot tag, did the moonsault to both women. And then Alexa got back in the mix, took out Kiana with a DDT. And then Charlotte pinned Julia with the natural selection. Now keep in mind that Julia is the women's U.S. champion, and she's getting pinned here by Charlotte to set up Charlotte and Alexa going for the tag team titles, not the U.S. title. Are we sure that Road Dogg has left the creative position in WWE? I'm not sure what they were thinking with this one. They might as well just get rid of the women's U.S. title. It is a complete joke at this point, I have to say. Poor Julia. She is really turning out to be a bust in WWE. She's got that title, and I feel like they have more stock in Kiana James at this point than they do Julia. Very unfortunate for her. Match wasn't much. You know, Charlotte and Alexa going on to face Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, whatever. Don't really care about it all that much, to be quite honest. Then we had Sami Zayn backstage approaching Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn said that it's crazy this match is happening in the SmackDown main event, and Cody wanted to know what made it crazy. And Zayn said that Cody lost the chamber but is still getting another match. And everything just falls into his lap. And Zayn brought up how he's not getting a second chance, but Cody is. And Cody was wondering if Sami Zayn was politicking for a title match. And Zayn was getting angry, said he just came there to wish Cody Rhodes good luck, said he was rooting for Cody, and then Cody walked away. Sami Zayn got very angry, started smashing things. He was pissed off. And they're definitely planting the seeds for a heel turn for Sami Zayn. We'll see how that goes, considering WWE has these Saudi Arabia shows, although with the stuff in Iran, who knows if that's even going to happen. I mean, will they even do WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia next year? If things escalate, hopefully they don't, but things happen. Anyways, moving on here, we had the tag team gauntlet match. Started off with the Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxium, which was fine for what it was. High flying back and forth action with these guys. But the finish of this one was very awkward because after Fraxium double teamed Chris Sabin, Axiom went for the cover, and outside of the ring, Alex Shelley put Sabin's foot on the rope, but the referee just counted to 3 anyways. Didn't even notice what was going on, and the crowd was very confused. I'm not sure if this was exactly how it was booked, but it was weird. And the crowd, as they were just wondering what was happening here, we had Angel and Humberto, excuse me. Angel and Humberto. I'm so confused who's who at this point. Angel Garza and Humberto, or Berto, whatever his name is. They're barely on TV these days. It is what it is. They came out there, and Frazier was pushed off the top rope, and then the Garzas double-teamed Axiom, and got the 1-2-3 victory. Next out were the Wyatt Six. And surprisingly, they didn't last too long in this gauntlet because the MFTs got involved and Garza pinned Loomis with the fruit roll-up after Loomis was distracted and he held the trunks for good measure. And then we had a brawl with the MFTs and the Wyatts. And then Priest and R-Truth came down as the final team. You had Priest, interestingly enough, being the one worked over, and then Truth came in for the hot tag, doing the John Cena moves. And then Priest came back in, and they did a stereo South of Heaven and AA to pin Garza and Berto, or Angel and Berto, Humberto, whatever their names are. And they got the win. Priest and R-Truth are going for the tag team titles. Okay. So now R-Truth is being taken seriously again. WWE seems to go back and forth with him. I really have no interest in the tag team title match with Truth and Priest against the MFTs. I have no interest in it. Tag division is, to me, in shambles at this point. It needs a serious shakeup as far as I'm concerned. Then we had Sami Zayn backstage asking Randy Orton if Orton was okay dropping Cody Rhodes, who was supposedly this guy he respected. And Orton said, sometimes you have to be selfish, and he doesn't feel bad about it because it made him a 14-time world champion. And Sami Zayn wished him well. Orton said he believes in Zayn and said that Zayn just needs to believe in himself and maybe listen to the voices. And then when Randy Orton left, we had Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega walking in and telling Sami Zayn to not worry. It's just the nature of the beast. Didn't Karrion Kross try to get Sami Zayn to go to the dark side? And now Sami Zayn might actually go to the dark side. There you go. We had an in-ring confrontation between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Jade went for a handshake and Rhea reluctantly accepted. Now, Jade did this with the left hand, and apparently this is a sign of disrespect in cultures when somebody does a left-handed handshake. I did not know this, but there were comments on X about this. So yeah, that was a little moment there where Jade was actually doing the handshake, but being disrespectful. I don't think I've seen something like this before with the handshake. So that was interesting. And then Jade said she respects Rhea, but she's not impressed with her. She said that her arms and legs are bigger than Rhea's and she's more powerful. She's going to beat the hell out of Rhea because she is that bitch. And she dropped the mic. Rhea then offered her own handshake and issued her response. She said she respects the honesty. However, Jade's best shot won't keep her down. Rhea said if her best shot gets connected, Jade will not get back up. And then Rhea said that Jade's body is built for show. Rhea's is built for fighting. And she's going to take Jade's title with force because she, Rhea, is that bitch. And then she dropped the mic. I thought it was a pretty good segment between the two of them to set up the WrestleMania match. No reference to the little Twitter exchange they had, but I thought what they did was good. And again, I like the whole handshake thing with Jade at the beginning. And we did, in fact, get the double mic drop from them. We had an Uncle Howdy VHS tape being shown. He's still going after Solo Sikoa, yada, yada, yada. And then Alex Shelley was checking on Johnny Gargano. Chris Sabin got all upset and said they needed to talk. And then Candice LeRae was trying to tell Johnny Gargano to get up. You know, he was depressed, laying on the crate again. And Gargano did get up. He was feeling motivated. He went to the ring, and he said he's tired of pretending that he's not one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. He issued an open invitation, and the crowd was chanting Oba. And sure enough, Oba Femi came out there. Gargano tried to fight him, but then Oba took him out with multiple running uppercuts in the corner, tossed him like a rag doll, and then finished him off with the fall from grace. Poor Johnny Gargano. I don't feel like he's really got much of a future at this point. Definitely feels like he's being phased out. You know, I suppose there's always a chance he could have a redemption storyline, but yeah, not looking too good for him. And if he ends up back with Ciampa reunited in AEW, wouldn't shock me at this point. He is a Shawn Michaels favorite, though, so never say never. Maybe he will somehow rebound from this, but he's pretty much bottom of the barrel at this point. Backstage, we had Jade confronting Michin again, and they're going to have a match on next week. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait for that one. Yeah. Then we had Nick Aldis backstage, and guess who he ran into? He ran into the very nice and very evil Danhausen. And Danhausen once again had his list of demand Hausens. He wants a mentor. Nick Aldis had an idea, and he went over to The Miz. But The Miz was not thrilled with this. He wanted none of it. But then Danhausen insisted that Miz is going to make him a WWE champion. Miz refused, and then Danhausen warned him that if Miz doesn't, he will be cursed. And then Miz was going to yell at him, but then Danhausen once again just disappeared. Very entertaining stuff here. Danhausen's been great. And I like this possible pairing with The Miz. You know, it was funny. Good stuff here with these guys. Crowd was into Danhausen. They popped when he appeared on the screen, and they even said the "you will be cursed." They were saying the line at the end. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm fine with Danhausen. He's a breath of fresh air. I mean, there's so many repetitive segments we've seen over and over again on WWE television, and Danhausen just feels like something different. So I'm very much all aboard with him having a good presence on the show. And then finally, we had the Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre WWE Championship match. Beforehand, we had the video package hyping up their feud. McIntyre did try to walk out. No punching the referee or slapping him, as I was hoping, but he did try to walk out. Cody went after him, and they brawled around the ringside area. They were in and out of the ring a couple of times. McIntyre was targeting the arm of Cody, and then they were both on the outside. Cody was going to try and put Drew through the announce desk, but the announce desk collapsed prematurely on them. And then Cody, he was thinking fast. The crowd was chanting, "We want table." And Cody pulled out a table from under the ring, but then McIntyre gave him a power bomb through the table, brought him back into the ring, hit the crossroads. Drew McIntyre hit the crossroads on Cody. He used Cody's own move against him, but Cody did kick out, and then Cody came back with the Claymore, using Drew's move against him, but Drew kicked out of that. A little bit of WrestleMania 17 here with the guys using each other's finishers. Cody went for the disaster kick, but then McIntyre pulled the referee in the way. Referee went down. Cody Rhodes had the match won. He called out another referee, but then McIntyre connected with the Claymore. The second referee was there. Cody somehow managed to kick out. And then McIntyre was getting mad at the referee. He ended up giving the referee a Glasgow kiss. And then he went outside, grabbed the steel chair. But then Jacob Fatu took the chair away. Cody rolled up Drew. Drew kicked out, and Drew regained the advantage, hit the Future Shock DDT, and then went for the Claymore, but missed. Cody hit a top rope Cody cutter, followed by the Crossroads, and got the 1-2-3 victory to regain the WWE Championship. And I'm not really surprised by this outcome. I think we were all pretty much expecting Cody to win it back here. WWE, in fact, will be going with a one-on-one WWE title match. And as I expected, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu seems to be the plan for WrestleMania, with Fatu getting involved in this one, as I figured he would. So yeah, it all went down pretty much as I expected. And next week, they're actually doing a, I guess, proper contract signing, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, to make it official for WrestleMania, although they did put up the graphic already, so there's that. But yes, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton set for WrestleMania. And in the end, I think a singles match is stronger. You could say, well, they're just throwing this match out of nowhere, but you have to think of the history these guys have, and there's still about 5 weeks left until WrestleMania. People keep forgetting that WrestleMania is towards the end of April. Like, if it was March, yeah, it'd be very short notice, but they got some time to build up this one. Shout out to Caleb Jacobs, who couldn't wait 2 minutes without reminding me to answer the super chat. Thank you, Caleb, who sent in $3.66. Says, Drew McIntyre had a great run as champion. Well, I wouldn't say it was great. I mean, Drew's a great champion and a great performer, but the title reign itself, don't even think it was 2 months. It was probably right about 2 months, because he won, I believe, on the first SmackDown of the year. It was all right. He had that title defense against Sami Zayn, but it wasn't a great title reign by any means. He did the best he could, and him and Jacob will be a fun match. Not sure who should go over. Probably Drew in the first match, and then they can do a rematch where Jacob wins at Backlash or whatever. But I'd probably have Drew win at WrestleMania, but we'll talk about that when we get to predictions about a month from now. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, do you think Randy Orton turns heel at some point? He might, but who's really going to boo Randy Orton at this stage of the game? One would think Cody would be more fitting to turn heel, but we all know that's probably not going to happen. And if they're turning Sami Zayn, then I don't really see the need to turn Randy Orton heel. Wouldn't shock me if Cody just beats him and then Randy Orton just goes back to being the legend that's around when they need him for a big match or whatever. But I feel like he probably won't, but it's WWE. You never know. I just don't see the real point in it when the fans, they see Randy Orton as the legend now. He's the legend. He's no longer the legend killer. He's the legend, and he's got fewer days ahead. You know, he's coming to the end. He's probably got a few years left, but he's definitely got more years behind him than in front of him. And as Caleb Jacobs pointed out, Drew McIntyre's title reign was exactly 8 weeks. 2 months, it was okay. It was a nice little shakeup. I will say that. It did make things a little more unpredictable, but when we got to this point on SmackDown, I think we all pretty much knew that Cody was going to win. The only way it wasn't going to happen was if you had the match thrown out with Fatu and they decided to make it a 4-way. I mean, McIntyre wasn't going to be beating Cody before WrestleMania again. Shout out to Drew McIntyre. At least he got a somewhat decent run as champion with fans. We all know he got shortchanged a little bit during the pandemic, winning the title with no fans, and he got to be champion for a while. All right, guys, that's all I got for the SmackDown recap. I think that this show was good. The WWE title match, big deal. That brought it up. Didn't really care too much about the gauntlet and a lot of the stuff in the middle. I did like the Danhausen stuff. That was very good. And a few solid promos like the opener with Randy Orton. I think I would go 6 out of 10 for SmackDown. I'm still not really feeling these 3-hour shows. Like, the wrestling was good. Main event was very memorable, but it just start to finish was a little difficult for me to sit through, especially that gauntlet. So I got to go 6 out of 10 for this one. I wish I could go higher for a WWE title change, but I just feel like they need to trim the fat with these shows a little bit. Like, and stuff like the Lash Legend and Nia Jax segment where Charlotte and Alexa come out there, and then Julie and Kiana James come out there, and then they make a tag match. Everybody's in their gear. Like, if the show is 2 hours, they're not doing all that stuff. They're padding it out to stretch out the show because it's 3 hours. And I just don't like when they do that. Shout out to Matthew, who sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I like short reigns, makes it more interesting. I agree. I'm all for the title changes, and I think it really did break up the monotony of the Cody Rhodes title reign. And we got some lightning here. Ooh, geez. I don't know if that was picked up on the camera or not, but yeah, we got the thunderstorms, and yeah, there was a tornado. So very, very tragic what's going on in Michigan. I believe Union City, it's like the southern part of Michigan, probably a couple hours from where I'm at. So yeah, my thoughts with the people that were involved in that. But anyway, SmackDown was good, but I'm waiting for the show to go back to 2 hours. We got one more here from Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for the super chat. Says, reckon they'll still add Drew McIntyre and Fatu for a 4-way. No, at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu will have a singles match at WrestleMania. Maybe Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams, and there's speculation about maybe a double turn at some point. We'll see. I mean, they definitely seem to be moving in the direction of heel Zayn. I just don't know how that's going to work. And granted, he did do the heel role pretty well a couple of years ago, but if WWE does in fact do the Saudi Arabia shows, he should really be a face. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre and Fatu will be a singles match. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, they have that history, and now they'll be able to have a proper match at WrestleMania, not some King of the Ring tournament match. They'll actually be able to have a nice little setup here for WrestleMania 42. And as Matthew said, prayers up for Union City, Michigan, probably about 3 hours from where I'm at. Tornado. So yeah, very, very sad to hear about that. Thank you, Matthew, for the super chats. Much appreciated. And thank you all for watching the live stream recap. I appreciate everybody's viewership and support. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com and check out NoDQ for live coverage of WWE NXT. I think I'll be going live with a recap, so stay tuned for that on the channel, and enjoy NXT Vengeance Day. I believe it'll be the last one on Peacock, so if you're watching it on Peacock, you better find another place to watch it. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.